So people have been asking me about what do I think about the different changes that Riot made in preseason, and one of the biggest changes in my opinion, and the one I get asked the most, is the objective bounties. What do I think about the objective bounties? So already before preseason there was the kill bounty, so whenever someone was fed then there would be a bounty on them. That already gave the enemy team or the losing team a pretty big chance of coming back, which meant that you essentially got punished for playing well in the early game, meaning that if you end up dying in the mid game or late game, you could risk giving up to 1,000 gold, which already in my opinion was a pretty bad change because it made it a lot easier for the enemy team to come back of simply getting one kill. Now they've done the same just with objective bounties and still having champion bounties. So you can get 500 gold for Baron Elder, 500 for Drake and Rift Herald, 250 for outer towers, 400 for inner towers, and 400 for base towers, and it can get increased by 60% on top of that. It is shared amongst 5 players, but it's still a ton of gold, and I've seen some pretty outrageous examples of people getting more than 5,000 gold within 3 minutes just off one comebacking play, and that essentially just puts the enemy team in a position where if they have a scaling team comp, they can now scale for free and pretty much win the game off that. And if they don't have a scaling team, well then they are not too far behind to be able to take some fights after just one winning play, even though the winning team might have had 2-3 winning plays back to back to back in order to create the lead in the first place. So I don't like the changes, and the reason why I don't like it is because it's pretty much impossible for you to defend every single objective throughout the game, and sometimes the winning team just has to trade an objective. The good thing is that the winning team always, or should always, get to decide what objective they want to play for, because they should have prio. They should be the ones that has advantage in terms of vision and just items overall. So that means that if Baron and a Drake is up, let's say it's like a third Drake or something, the winning team will go for Baron, and then the losing team could trade and take the Drake. Now, the winning play would still be getting Baron, and Baron would still overall give more gold, but the Drake is not only going to give just the Drake buff, but it's also going to give a ton of gold, kind of evening out the gold difference between like the better objective and the worse objective. And the only way that you can really prevent this is by having in my opinion, is simply creating a bigger time between the objective spawning. Because if an objective spawns within 1 minute of another objective spawning, so let's say Baron and Drake spawns 1 minute from each other, it's gonna be pretty hard for one team to secure both objectives, because if they start one objective, they first of all could get contested on that objective, and maybe they get it, but then they have to reset, and then they have to walk from base down to the other objective, and then they're out of position. Or second thing is they get one objective, but then the other team is setting up vision for the other objective, meaning that the team that just got the first objective will now have to face check in order to get the second objective. And now it is just even harder to, I guess, secure both objectives, because now the losing team will definitely play for the other objective just to get that bounty back. So the way to prevent this is simply by creating a bigger gap between the different objectives spawning. So that means like 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes instead of maybe 1 minute to 1 minute 30. So you would just want to try and extend the time between the objectives spawning in between each other. But those are just for Baron, Elder, Drakes, and Rift Herald. Then there are also the towers. And the towers you can't really stop, because they are always going to be up the entire time, and once they're down, then they're down and they don't respawn. So that's like my biggest issue, because already now we have first tower giving a lot of gold, we have platings giving gold, we have second turret on side lanes giving a lot of gold for split pushing, and now on top of that, now we have bounties on those towers. So now I feel like it's just way too much gold that you get from the towers. So in my opinion, overall, pretty bad change. I would be fine with Baron, Elder Drake, and Rift Herald giving a little bit extra gold, but the tower gold should definitely be removed. And then we should also nerf the amount of gold that you could potentially get from Baron, Elder Drake, and Rift Herald if you're the team that are losing, and that would just change the meta around playing for the jungle objectives, trying to extend the timer between the top side Rift Herald and Baron, and the bot side Drake and Elder Drake. So you wouldn't like rush one objective and then instantly rush to the second one, because then the enemy team could get a bounty and secure the next time in the deck response if you decide on trading. Yeah, those are my thoughts on the objective bounties. So let me know what you guys think about the change, and then I'll see you guys in the next video.